include all sorts of things that had not traditionally been part of other biennials, and you will see when you walk through the building what we mean. And it's one thing for us to decide this is what we want to do. It's another thing to get a staff and a group of people to come on board and to absolutely enable something to happen. And to this very minute, as we're talking to you, and all the minutes that go immediately after we have been problem solving as a staff in order to get the vision of what we thought this biennial ought to be about out there into the world. So I want to add my thanks to all those people who helped us, but most especially I want to thank Jay Sanders, who, in case some of you don't know him, is one of the most truly remarkable people that we are lucky to have in this art world. And to have had him as a companion in crime has been truly a very, very wonderful experience.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And I want to iterate that this last year working with Elizabeth has just been the greatest experience for me. Her wisdom and her experience and everything that we did together led to a really perfect year. I'm incredibly proud of the show. So I want to thank you so much for the chance to do this. And we do want to again thank our team. Elizabeth Sherman, our curatorial assistant, was our other partner in crime the entire year and our confidant on everything. And Esme Watanabe, who was the biennial coordinator, produced the whole show. You know, and it's an incredible amount of work. And her assistant Sophie Kavalakas and Greta Hartenstein and our intern Julia Speed. And a special thanks to Thomas Beard and Ed Halter from Light Industry, who co-curated the cinema series with us, which is a fantastic 13 weeks of film and video that we're very lucky to have.
Has given a large floor of this museum to performance, 6,000 square feet. It's very big on the 4th floor. And as soon as you go up there, you'll see it's incredible. And when it's activated by the dancers we commission, the theater people, it is a spectacular experience just to go up there and to watch them work in this space. And I think that's the biggest change in the biennial. It has also fewer artists than have been in past biennials. We thought biennials, the art fairs, they're getting too crowded. And so we cut way down on the number of artists that we invited. So I think those are the distinguishing characteristics.
Between this one and the other one?
The last one,
yeah.
You mean? Yeah, I think
because there are 52 artists.
There are 51 artists in this, and I think last year there were around that number of people, but they didn't have the film and video theater. We have 10 artists who are in the film and video program. So, and then we have at least 5 or 6 that are on the 4th floor in the performance program. So that means we have about 35 visual artists, sculptors, and so on.
So more visual artists than
more visual artists than filmmakers, but less visual artists, far fewer than in other biennials.
And more selective.
More selective.
My name is Dawn Casper, and this piece is called This Could Be Something If I Let It, and this is everything I own in this room. It's my studio, and I'm assuming studio hours every day that the museum is open, with the exception of Mondays and Tuesdays. I'll be here every day. And on some Fridays, I've invited friends to come and perform in the space with me, primarily musicians. Music is an important part of my practice. And so, this is a 3-month durational performance installation. So every day it'll be changing and it will be different. No expectations, you know. I'll be moving things around and folding the clothes and making my bed or moving the bed around. So everything will be changing. So.
And the music will be changing too.
Yes. Yes, the music will be changing.
heterogeneity. It's a bunch of things coming together that hopefully speak to each other and speak to the public.
Do you think there is a connection between them?
We saw, I mean, we wanted to hang the show in open rooms like this, so I think there's visual connections. I think there are a lot of connections, and it's a lot of artists like working deeply through aesthetic issues or historical issues. So yeah,
Between historical or technical?
all those things. Yeah, technological. There's some young artists that work like Georgia Sagri or Don Casper, the two live artists you met. They work very interestingly, like they have a kind of network of like props, things they designed, media, and then they kind of perform it. And it comes alive like a circuit when they're activating it, and then it goes away when they get away from it. So that's one, some young artists are working that way. And then we saw a certain number of artists that are interested in art history that look to kind of, early moments in art history or like lesser known artists and kind of bring them forward in their work. So these kind
Artists you like?
like for example, Richard Hawkins, they make these collages over here. He's interested in Japanese Buto, like Japanese post-war dance. And he went to Japan and looked in the original notebooks of Tatsumi Hijikata, who was the inventor of Buto, and found that Hijikata was like obsessed with Europe, with mid-century like European art, like Francis Bacon, and American art like Ludwig Koenig or Fautrier or like Hans Bellmer, that he was in his dance trying to kind of emulate these kinds of forms. And this is like a side of Buto that doesn't really get talked about that much. And so Richard kind of made collages that study this history of like Buto's relationship to decadent European literature and like modern art and all this. And so, but he kind of transcends that and brings it into something that's very personal to him. And so that was something we noticed. Artists are very literate, and they look back at art history. They find, things that aren't, they do their own research, in a big way. And so we were struck by that. Or Werner Herzog or Forrest Best through
What
Robert
about
Goldberg.
Werner Herzog?
I mean, he was so great. Like he lives in Los Angeles since the late 90s, so he's really been here like 12, 13 years in the United States, and he makes work that deals with, the Cave of Forgotten Dreams was like about painting, so he's interested in aesthetics for sure. So we went and saw him, and he told us, his favorite artist in the whole world was this person called Hercules Segers, who was making etchings in the 16th century and was a big influence on Rembrandt, and these visionary landscapes, etchings. And so Herzog made this kind of video installation that tours you through the subtleties and the open spaces in these landscapes, and then he says something about what this means to him. That he thinks it's the kind of beginning of modernity.
Yeah,
And he
very
thinks
interesting.
maybe every 100 years there's a great artist that's ahead of their time, and that this person is that for him. And so, this kind of thing, we were struck by it. So, yeah, and then I don't know what else. It's so much traveling around the country and being open to what artists say and what people in communities all over say. We were a lot in the West Coast. We were in San Francisco. We were in Detroit. We were very struck by the reality there. Yeah, and there's 3 artists in the Biennial from Detroit. A young sculptor called Michael Smith that makes these kind of beautiful, like abstract kind of like hermetic forms out of everyday objects, and then hangs them in strange ways. There's some on the 4th floor.
Like a globe.
Yeah, exactly.
Globe and
Yeah, and it's like made out of oats or like oatmeal. It's like very simple kind of body materials, or these pieces made out of a weed whacker. It's like kind of detritus, but he's managed to kind of reanimate it or something, and say something about humanity and form. And then another artist, Kate Lamont, made this kind of abstract hanging work on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
That's also comes from digging material out of the walls of houses in Detroit. It's like very much about salvaging and like the body of a house or something, and rewiring that as almost like an abstract circuit. And then Mike Kelly, was doing this major public art project in Detroit around his own home, and he made a kind of facsimile of his own, the front of his house, on a trailer and towed it through the city of Detroit and made this kind of film document where he went and filmed businesses, filmed people living in Detroit of all economic class and all forms of reality, and kind of like talked to them about, had them present themselves. And so it's this very poignant like tour of the city, but with the house acting almost as like a roving cinema making the piece. And this was also a big rumination on public art and the kind of the failures of like a city to function in relation to art and the ideals of public art and the reality of public art. And so, something like that, this trip was a big deal for us. And so, along the way there were these kinds of like, patches of activity. And we were lucky to work with 2 fantastic film curators, Thomas Beard and Ed Halter, who co-curated a cinema series with us. And so, we hope the public finds a lot.